I'm going to be offensive here. I'm not going to apologise. I'm going to say it.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Episode number 4. Mate, number 4. We've already done 4. These are flowing really, really well at the moment, and I'm absolutely loving them doing them. You know, we weren't sure about how many we wanted to do per week, whatever, but because I'm enjoying doing them so much with you and enjoying your company so much, I've got to do more, you know. So, yeah, I mean, you've just come off of your event yesterday with your sponsor, right?
Yeah, so
tell us about that.
so yesterday I did, obviously, we're in November, so Movember, Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Where's your moustache?
Oh, I'm not good enough for that. Beard growth is poor for me, mate. I really struggle with that. Anyway, so yeah, I'm sponsored by Applied Nutrition. Obviously, Ryan's sponsored by Animal, and they invited me down yesterday to do a big charity event at a gym in Liverpool called Phoenix Fitness. Shout out to Phoenix Fitness, CrossFit High Roxy style functional gym. Obviously, I was well out of place, so went in there and everyone was like, who's this guy? But at a great time, it was actually supposed to be 2 teams of 3. Mm-hmm. So 6 of us, right? And then there was other teams in the gym as well. So the gym's team, someone else's team, whatever. So we represented Applied Nutrition. Of the 6, 1 guy didn't turn up and the other guy chundered after the first 900 meters. He got off the rower and sneaked off to the toilet, and I clocked him and I thought, he's not coming back. And then I realised that the consequence of that basically means it's just me and this other lad.
You got to do more.
We've got to do more. So even half and half, that's 5k each.
I bet they regret sponsoring him. Oof. 900 meters in, he's already done.
Spewed. Just fucking set off too fast.
So how did you manage? So how much more did you have to do because of that?
I mean, well, if you divide it by 3, it's 3,300 to 3.3k, but like it's not an easy pace. You're trying to beat everyone else. So like bear in mind, like most of these guys in this gym there's a couple of the lads that were Royal Marines. We had a few fighters, Thai boxers. Like I had a guy, the guy on my team was a high roxer. He goes around the country and does all the high roxers. So I knew his pace would be really good and his cardio fitness was really good. My strength was that I was just tall and heavily muscled. So like my pull time, so my split time on a rower was like 129, 128. So for every 1 pull that I'm doing, I'm covering quite a lot of ground. But
right.
My engine's nowhere near as good as him. So I was like, we were trying to just balance that. Yeah. I set off way too fast, and like you learn that lesson real hard.
But you load too soon.
But yeah, don't want to play it too soon. But it was good. We finished it, and
nice.
Raised loads of money, so it's really, really good. And I'll be doing a lot more stuff like that as well. So trying not to just live within. It's like I put the caption as nice body, but what can you do with it? Mm. So
yeah, it's really good. It's funny actually on your story. So looking at you walking around, you just look like a monster next to everyone else, and it just goes to show the difference between that. But then for you to actually be able to keep up pace.
Which I surprised myself.
Sense.
I'd not really trained for it. I just knew that, okay, I'll play to my strengths, try not to blow my load too fast, and just do my best. Yeah.
You still did.
Yeah, still did anyway, yeah.
Well, actually, it takes me on to the first question that I had for you for today's episode, mate. And I guess also I kind of wanted to segue into like what people can expect from dieting down, okay? So you're dieting down, you're 13 kilos less than you were.
A little bit more than that now.
It was 100. Yeah, no, it is. Yeah. So it was 100. Yeah.
It was 119.8, and now on yesterday I was 106.8.
So it's verging on 14 kilo now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's 12 weeks.
It's fairly dramatic. So I guess my question is, how does that affect one's performance, both in the gym, fitness, even just day to day? And then also the segue would be what can people expect in general when they're dieting down?
For sure. So that's a really, really good question. And I think everyone will answer this slightly differently. So for context, I think my start point of a diet for me, relatively speaking, was actually quite poor because I'd prior to this, when I was 119 kilos, I'd just come back from an all-inclusive holiday in Turkey where I just filled my boots. But for like the last year, 18 months before that, I wasn't really like bodybuilding. I was following a bodybuilding split, but it was very much my focus was on my clients, on my business, whatever. I'd definitely taken the foot off the gas. It was cruise control, and if I'd missed sessions, or if I'd missed meals, or if I'd eaten something off plan, so to speak, I just wasn't bothered. And so my physique definitely reflected that, and I gained a ton of fat. Now, for like people who would look at us and go, well, you're not fat, but for the standards of where I've been in the past, relatively speaking, I definitely lost a lot of muscle. I definitely gained a shit ton of fat. I was definitely detrained, so my strength was way, way down. And like, without a doubt, I'd say I'm now like stronger than I was 13 kilos ago. I'm lighter, so I move better. My heart rate's lower. My fitness is better. My clothes fit me better. My digestion's better. Yeah, like there's points where you feel very fatigued and tired, and you've got the kind of heavy feet. But that's only been in like the last 2 or 3 weeks.
So you would say it didn't really affect performance. If anything, it may have been a better thing because of digestion, general energy. You're waking up earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. I went from not being locked in to locked in, and even though I've lost over 13 kilos, my strength's increased. I have gone on cycle. That is obviously, you do have to factor that in. And I've not been on cycle for quite a long time, but like...
But you were running. You were still running steroids.
I was still running steroids.
So it's not like not steroids to steroids. It was still steroids, but now more steroids.
Correct. And but truthfully, I just was not pushing the button.
Sure.
Like I went in, like 12 weeks ago, and was like, right, it's on. Let's do this. Flick the switch. Yeah. Go into fucking athlete mode.
And I think this is relevant, mate, because a lot of people that come to me when they begin, I'm sure you too, but certainly I'm going to speak for my own clients. They'll come to me and they're not really hitting their stride. So they might be training a bit, but not really. So the stimulus is like mid-level.
Yeah.
They might be on cycle, but not really knowing what they're doing, not really knowing what does what. So when they come to me, they have an expectation of what a diet's going to be. So they think everything's just going to feel like a slog. They're going to be tired, dragging their heels, moody, blah, blah, blah. And actually, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
So what will happen is they'll start training better. So they'll even though they're eating less food, like calories, is more volume of food. Mm-hmm. So therefore, they're able to train better. And then they train better, they're stronger, their physique shows it, like physically shows it. So in them, I guess what it goes to is that people have this opinion of what dieting down is going to be, and they almost tell themselves it's going to be a negative before it's even begun.
But I think as well, and this comes down to having accountability with ideally a coach who knows what they're doing and understands the client. But most people, when they diet down, they do it wrong. They come down too hard, they don't train hard enough, and they come in with this preconceived idea, I'm going to lose strength. So therefore, they are in a deficit and they lose muscle and fat. And they just end up moving sideways. So they just become skinny fat. They just feel small, weak, and not really particularly low body fat.
This is the big thing that I say to everyone. You're not getting smaller. You need to get out of your head that you're getting smaller. You're not getting smaller, you're getting leaner.
Yeah.
There is a big difference because you'll be smaller on the scales, the number will read less. But you're going to appear bigger. Because not only have you preserved, you might have even gained muscle because as you just mentioned from your position, you were detrained.
And in my instance, like it's a shame we didn't fucking do a DEXA scan or anything, but I literally am like, I'm feeling myself, I'm touching myself, I'm looking at my performance in the gym, and I'm literally like, without a shadow, I have gained lean tissue across the last 12 weeks. I've gained it, I've gained muscle.
And in person, I see you don't look any smaller. I know that you might feel it. Do you think there's an element of psychology though? Because you see the scale, you see the number?
So I'm still learning that skill because I do in clothes, I do feel a lot smaller. But as second I start training and got a pump, especially if you've got a vest on, people are like, when's the competition, bro? And I'm like, there is no competition. I'm just now in shape. You've just not seen me like this for a while.
This is it, man. Every time I'm in prep, people say, fucking hell, you've grown recently.
Looking at people are like, they're like,
you've grown.
Like, are you bulking?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I've lost 13 kilograms.
I had it bulk season, bro. I remember I was in peak week. I was in King's Gym like a couple of years ago, and I pulled a lat spread and someone went bulking season, bro. I was really offended by it. I guess now in hindsight I can go, fuck, well that's a good size. I don't just prep and then shrivel, which is what people assume is going to happen. So,
and when muscle mass on a human being is not covered in fat and it's full of blood and you've got a pump, it looks fucking awesome.
Yeah. So what to expect when dieting down? People assume you're going to be weaker. People assume you're going to be smaller. People assume you're going to be grumpy, hangry, tired all the time. Whereas I'm going to dispel these myths now. Hangry, let's go with that one first. I mean, I can't speak for everyone. Everyone's got different appetites, but more often than not, you'll be eating more food than what you think. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is the tiredness. I'm going to make an argument that when you are eating slightly less food, there's this really sweet spot.
Yeah, there is.
There's a sweet spot where if you eat too much food, you're sluggish. If you don't eat enough food, you're tired. But there's this sweet spot where you're eating plenty of good food in training mode, you actually feel more energy.
Yeah, for sure.
Getting weaker, bollocks. A lot of that is psychological.
And the argument, I'm just going to cut you off.
Go.
The argument I would give, because, people will learn, but you both use anabolic steroids, right? So I'm going to give an example of a client. I'm actually going to shout her out here. It's Rachel Mackey. It's one of my clients. She turns 40 in February. I think next year. She turns 40 next year anyway. Don't know the date, but she turns 40 next year. She is literally getting stronger and stronger and stronger every single week. And over the last 4 or 5 months, she has gotten leaner and leaner and leaner and leaner. She pulled a 1 rep max deadlift last week, three
150, wasn't it? Or 140?
140 kilos. And then she's doing 60 kilo RDLs. Her body weight is 66 kilos. She's totally natural. Yeah. She's only just started using creatine.
Yeah.
For an unassisted female, lifting those kind of weights in good form, she didn't start like that. She wasn't a genetic freak. She wasn't bubbly or anything like that. She literally has just been so fucking consistent for the last 2 or 3 years.
Yep.
Every single week, tiny bit more. Yep. And when she's having a bad week, she just makes sure she doesn't fall backwards.
Yep.
It's just relentless.
Yeah, lifting as much as you can relative to that day. If you're not quite feeling it, you slept badly or whatever it is, as long as you don't just go in there and sort of palm it off, you still do what you can.
Yeah. How many times? That's a really good point. So how many times? Because I know everyone who's watching this will experience those days where you go in, you've had a fucking long day at work, you kind of know it's not quite there, you've had a shit sleep, everything's against you. The key on those days is you've got a choice. You've allocated this time to go to the gym anyway. Say it's an hour and 15 minutes, say it's an hour and a half. You can literally decide how much effort you're going to put in. If you just put in 60% effort, you're going to start pissing progress away. So you might not progress that week, but you're not going to go backwards. Yep. And next week you will go forwards. So it's so important. You have to just go in and go, right, well, I'm here anyway. I've allocated this time. I might as well put my best effort in.
100%. Yep, that's exactly right. Relative to the day, 100% effort, and then you can walk away knowing that you did all you could.
Yeah.
You did all you could. You can't expect more from yourself than your 100%. 100% on one day might be here, 100% on another day might be here. But as long as it's your 100%.
Yeah.
So to go off on that, steroids make a difference. Yes, steroids make you stronger. Of course they do. That's not even up for debate. But I have so many clients that, again, have the same story. Mm-hmm. So the third point was, getting weaker. Again, I think a lot of that is psychological. Yes, it's partly down to your start position. If you're quite untrained or detrained, or you weren't really training very hard or whatever it is, then, you can absolutely get stronger. And what was the other one? Getting smaller.
Yeah.
Forget that again. Yeah. Providing you are eating plenty of good food, like I just mentioned, providing you're getting stronger or trying to, you will not be losing muscle.
I think as well, and this is more so for the lads with their upper bodies and the girls with their glutes, if you feel you are getting a lot smaller in a diet, it's not because you're losing muscle, it's probably because you had a lot more fat there in the first place. A lot of guys, and I've been that guy, right? When you're full of water retention, or you've got a lot of fat on your body, you're gonna feel big in a t-shirt when you've got a chest pump. And that kind of feeling, that security, you're only kidding yourself because you are holding a lot of body fat. And if you feel like you've shrunk a lot on your diet, it's because a lot of fat has come off. And actually there wasn't that much muscle mass.
Yeah, that's the bit I was gonna say. You're not as muscular as you thought.
No, everyone thinks this. Everyone thinks they have more muscle than they actually do, and they think they don't have as much fat as they actually do.
So true.
And it takes you the first few times peeling the fat off, putting the muscle back on, whether that, the first 2 or 3 years to actually understand and accept that.
That is so fucking true. People have more fat and less muscle than they realize. Almost every single time. Yeah, that is so true.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's awesome. That covers it. So it's really awesome that you are in the position you're in now, because I think there was a part of you that wasn't sure that this was going to go this way. 12 weeks in.
To be honest, about a month ago, I was kind of starting to think, I'm looking forward to getting to the end of a diet now so I can put food back in.
Yep.
I think I'm ready to fill back up. And we're a month further and I'm like, no, let's just get more off. Like, I'm happy to do like another month.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, let's get absolutely peeled.
Yeah.
And then when I put the food back in, I'll be so insulin sensitive. The second you put the food back in, you can then fuck all the drugs off and literally just grow on like fuck all gear, just good quality food.
Yes.
Like, that is the best position to be in.
Oh, 100%, yeah. And that's exactly what I want for you. That's what I want for you. So I'm really glad that that mindset shift.
Ready for it.
Love that, love that. Right, on to the next point, my friend. So, we made a little list of things that we want to talk about.
Got to keep to the list because we waffle.
So, next subject, common myths. Things that are perpetuated by people. Too much, we covered that a little bit on the last one as well. Things that people think, people assume when they start training, when they're uneducated or whatever. So, yeah, let's get a couple each maybe. So, you first.
So, following trendy diets.
Absolutely.
So, keto, carnivore, the juice diet, intermittent fasting. Why people think they're effective, why they always fall back on them, and why they never can stay on them year round. If it was an effective diet, could you not just do it 12 months of the year? Yeah. If you can't do it 12 months of the year, that diet is not effective. Effective being something that is sustainable long term and will yield results year after year after year after year.
How many times have you had a client say, oh, I used to do this and it was really good for me?
Yeah.
But they've come to you out of shape.
Absolutely.
So if you're out of shape, but that thing you did before was really good,
why are you not still doing it?
What the fuck?
We're having this conversation because that clearly doesn't work. Yeah. Now, I understand that for a lot of you guys, and again, it's partially an education thing, an understanding thing, and that's what we're here to do. We're not here to badmouth other trendy diets, and Joe Rogan does a carnivore diet, and like Karen in the office has done a juice diet and lost 2 stone. But Karen in the office will probably binge next week because she's so hungry and she can't sustain it. And then she'll be deficient in all the macronutrients, she'll be losing muscle mass. Great, she's lost some weight, but it'll be fat, it'll be muscle, she'll feel like shit, she definitely won't be able to go to the gym, she definitely won't look good when she goes on holiday next year in a bikini. Yeah,
that's the thing. So seeing the scales go down is one thing, but like her body composition is going to be, sorry Karen, this make-believe person, but your body composition is shit, you know, and it's because losing weight and losing fat are not the same thing. So when she does her juice diet, she's not eating sufficient protein. Yeah. She's not resistance training. She's not really doing anything. She's just eating less. So she's basically just starving herself. And what is your body going to do when you starve itself? What is it going to get rid of first? Mm-hmm. Things that are unnecessary. Mm-hmm. What's unnecessary for someone who's not doing much?
Muscle.
Thank you. There you go. So it's going to go, fuck off, we don't need you. Mm-hmm. Fat, however, is not oxygen demanding, as in it doesn't require much to possess it, and it's stored energy. And so it's like an insurance cover for Karen.
And these are always the people who are like skinny fat, or they're like, I've got a slow metabolism, I'm insulin resistant. Yeah. No, you always fall back on a program that's going to cost you muscle. It's like having a car with a smaller engine. Like the amount of fuel that needs just to tick over, like, is not very much. Yes. Whereas if you have a sports car, i.e. the analogy of someone who's much more muscled, and you don't have to be a bodybuilder, you just have to be someone who trains, like maybe 2 or 3 times a week, full body, like, but consistently in a progressive manner over years.
Your body's demanding fuel.
Yeah.
And that's why you'll see people who can get away with more. They can eat more. It's because they've got more muscle and because they've got higher output. Yeah. It's not magic. No. They're just doing more than you. Yeah. And that's what it is.
How do you increase output? Yeah. Have more muscle, move more. And then you can, there's then other things like stimulants and whatever. But I
think that's one of the problems with that is that people want to see the scale go down and they equate that with progress. So let's say Karen starts seeing the scale go down, but she's not training. In her mind, that's a really good thing. Yeah. Whereas if she ate a bit more food, but good food, started training, the scales might not move that much.
She wouldn't even have to train that much, mate. Maybe twice a week, maybe an upper and a lower.
Very manageable. But the thing is, the scale would read the same number or not as fast. And in her mind, that's a bad thing. Yeah. So she equates all of her progress to the scales.
And that program is then in her mind not as effective.
Yes. Yeah. So then she'll go back to it again.
Correct.
And then repeat.
Correct.
So yeah, that's it. Fad diets, number 1.
Fad diets.
Fad diets, number 2. So number 2, referring to the list, because to be honest with you, there's loads.
The importance of esters.
Oh, this one gets me. I need to say this one. This one, I've been wanting to say this since the first episode.
Explain to people who don't understand what esters are.
Okay, so all steroids have an ester, and the ester will determine how fast this is distributed within your body. Sometimes, and all drugs have got a half-life, so it's basically how long is the half-life, and so you'll get some drugs that will peak in your system within 4 to 8 hours, 12 hours, some will be 36 hours. So the ester determines how fast that is effective within your body and then back out again, in and out, and that's how it works. I'm going to be offensive here. I'm not going to apologise, I'm going to say it.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
There are so many people who have fuck all muscle, fuck all strength, and they're really worried about what ester to use. James, why is that a problem? James, why is that a problem? It's a fucking problem because you have no business worrying about the ester. Don't worry about it. Number one, for a lifestyle client or person, do you even need steroids? That's already up for debate. Probably not, but let's say you've made that decision, you come to it, you're using steroids. You do not need anything more than testosterone. Because most people are just not very big, not very strong, and they just, and I guess the argument would be, well, I want to be big and strong. Sure, testosterone will do you absolutely fine.
Most blokes at the beginning, like you can literally take them from natural, say they've been doing it, 3 or 4 years and they reach that point and they're like, right, I think I'm ready to kind of start pushing the envelope.
Yes.
As soon as you put, especially the older guys who are like,
Oh,
over 35,
Yeah.
and you put them on a little bit of testosterone, it's unbelievable what that alone at low milligrams will achieve.
Could not agree more.
And all it's doing is it's just enhancing their ability to train harder. So now, when your diet's locked in, your food's locked in, like the magic happens. It's not some magic drug.
No, and it's not whether it was testosterone enanthate or testosterone propionate.
Exactly.
It makes no difference. Testosterone is testosterone.
Yeah.
Regardless of the ester.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You need to worry less about those details and more about, again, I know that I'm being an arsehole, and James is almost being like, it's like good cop, bad cop. James is being like the reasonable one here. But
I'm going to start turning it up a little bit. I feel like
it's like you don't try, you don't diet well, you don't train hard, you don't stick to anything for longer than a couple of weeks, but you're like, bro, enanthate or propionate? Oh, what about cypionate? I've heard cypionate makes you proper big. And it's like, just get your priorities in order
these
first.
will be the same people that will be the first ones to like, I'll swap that meal because I'm out, I've not prepped my food, so I'll just get a Greg's. Or like, the same people, but then they'll be back and forth with you, like arguing over the minutiae of like an ester of an anabolic steroid. And you're like, the kind of the pyramid of importance.
Yes.
You've got like the foundations, you've just not got in place and you're worrying about all the minutiae at the top. Like you can only really like obsess over the minutiae once you've got the foundations in place. And most of the guys who are like really not changing year to year, not really making much progress, are always the ones that worry about fucking minutiae at the top.
I couldn't agree more. Like a footballer, like, are you good at football? No, but I've got my Adidas Predators. Sorry, I've got those really, the laces are like 25 quid.
Show me how fast you can go in now.
100%, I'd make me really, come on, be good at football first. Like, as I say, and just to circle back to the argument, well, what if I want to be big? I know I'm not at the moment, but I want to be big. Well, lock in from the stuff that matters first. The details.
We're actually saying this from a place of, it's going to save you money, right? If you're not asked about anything else, you're going to save money because you're going to use less drugs and it's going to be far more simple for you, less complicated. And to be honest, the less complicated this is, the easier it is. Like bodybuilding's not even complicated.
No,
it's actually simple things done well. And every time I've started to kind of like overcomplicate things, you go back to the fucking basics. That's progress begins again. And it's like, we're going to save you money. You're going to save your health because you're going to expose yourself to less drugs. And the more drugs you use, the more other things you have to think about. It's more like there's just more plates you're spinning now with more potential problems. Like it's just better in every way. We're not saying this because we're trying to hold you back, and we've said this before.
Yes. Yeah, I think sometimes people assume if you don't put them on more drugs, then you're stifling their progress. It's like, no, for the reasons James stated there, it's for your benefit.
Yeah.
So that's it. Right, number 3. This one has bugged me for forever, I think.
I get asked this every week.
Well, if we talk about the same one, so the one I want to talk about is toning muscles.
Yeah.
Okay, your same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, toning muscles.
The high reps, lightweight versus low volume, heavyweight.
Yes.
Argument.
I don't want to get too big, so I'm just going to lift like lighter weights. I don't want to get too big.
Don't want to get too big.
Trust me.
I don't want to get too big. Does that trigger you?
You won't. Okay, you won't get too big. There are people trying for 15, 20 years and never get too big.
Yeah.
Now, I realise too big is a relative term.
Yeah.
What you and I think's big versus someone else might be different, right?
Yeah.
But you're not going to accidentally get too big because you accidentally put on an extra plate on the bar. Like, it's not going to happen. So this idea that one tones and one builds is just it's just not rooted in anything.
We do, from a science point of view, without getting too into it, we do know you've got fast twitch and slow twitch muscles. We know that, but ultimately speaking, like, we know bodybuilders, because at the elite Olympia level, on the Olympia stage, because this is the best example, these are guys at the highest level.
Best genetics, best drugs, best everything.
Everything, they're maxed out, right? On the, like, that is the best case study we have at the moment in 2025, right?
Agreed.
And I know there's people on that stage who are very, very high volume, low weight, relatively speaking, guys. And I know guys on that stage who are very, very heavy, low volume guys. And you could not tell a difference in their physiques based on the way they train.
Correct. People say, the density you get from heavy lifting is, it's large on your genetics.
Massive.
It's large on your genetics. Like, just because James Hollingshead, for example, lifts really heavy, you think, well, he's really dense. Well, for every James Hollingshead, there's a Phil Heath.
Yeah.
Phil Heath didn't do that. Yeah. But Phil Heath was more dense. I know he's got better genetics in general, but for every one of those, Dexter Jackson lifted just pump stuff. Jay Cutler, pump stuff.
The bottom line is that they're all doing the same thing, and the muscles are being taxed to beyond a point where they've not previously been taxed to. And then they're just progressing that, recovering that, and then going into the next week and doing a little bit more in some way, shape or form.
So the bottom line is you can grow doing high, you can grow doing low, as long as you're pushing your body to something it's not used to. Absolutely. And it has to adapt.
Absolutely.
And that's it.
Now for you and us, and for people to understand that concept, how I generally would say is, say you, for example, you have a body part or a part of your body that's had previous injuries. So you've got really bad knees. Doing a very, very low volume, high load training style is probably not going to be that good for you.
Correct.
Whereas training a lower weight, high volume approach, that body part might be more effective.
Yeah.
But overall, if there's no injuries present, train in a way that you enjoy, that you can track, and you can progress over a period of time. Simple as.
The thing is, when people talk about lightweight, again, that's relative. I don't think lightweight's ever a good idea. So for, let's say, you can bench press 200 kilo, just for argument's sake, and you just say to yourself, I'm going to go 50 kilo today. That's probably not a good idea to grow muscle. But even though you want to tone, it's still a bad idea.
Correct.
It's still a bad idea. Light still needs to be heavy-ish.
So for you girls that want big round glutes,
yes.
And this goes before about the girls who are like, they feel like their bum's getting smaller because they're on a diet. Guys, girls, it's because you're losing fat, and there probably is more fat on your bum than you realise.
Women hold fat there as well.
Correct.
That's where women store
Correct.
fat. Yeah.
Correct.
So,
but equally, and I'm going back to Rachel Mackey again, her legs have blown up. She's gained so much muscle in her quads, her hams, her glutes, everything. She trains really heavy every single week without fail.
yeah.
I had to actually deload her this last week because we're reaching a point where it's like she's hitting burnout. But if you look at her pictures from now to 18 months ago,
Let's put some up.
I'll stick some pictures up before and after. It's mind blowing. And again, the girl's not used any drugs. So for you, and she's not 21, she's turning 40. So for you girls who are watching this and thinks, well, this doesn't apply to me, it absolutely applies to every single one of you.
Do you know what? I know this is called Testosterone Tales, but I want to make the point that the things we're saying are true regardless of steroids.
Yeah, totally.
And what you've just put up about Rachel, so I actually want to shout out a couple of guys as well, a couple of guys I've had that I really great results with in terms of being natural as well. Josh Cullen, British champion.
Yeah.
PCA British champion, natural. So he's beating guys on steroids.
Yeah.
So this transformation is natural.
Yeah, that's a flex, man.
Unbelievable.
That's a flex. Salute.
Oshin Giri, and one more, Jack Moss. So put the photos up. These guys are really, really good. They're getting great shape, and it's not steroid related. The things we're saying are true, irrespective of steroids, right?
Mate, some of the natural guys I've trained with train so fucking hard.
Yeah.
They have no choice.
Yeah.
They ain't doing lightweight high reps. They are
agreed.
Absolutely burying themselves.
Yeah, 100%.
And
I think, there's obviously limitations to that. You can't, heavyweight is going to take a toll over time, especially for natural guys. But
managing fatigue, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But lifting heavy relative, Right, mate, before the next point, can we have a little break? We're both feeling a little bit parched. We are not sponsored by Monster, however.
Cheers.
Right, so.
Team Animal. Team applied. This is an ABA. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, this is animal as well.
That's an animal pre, isn't it?
Yeah, it's EAAs. So this is the Rossi flavour. Pretty good.
Yeah.
So 8 out of 10. Try it. Let's have a little go. Now, this podcast is taking a bit of a turn, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No, this one's better, mate.
Nah, fuck it off. Right, there's something I wanted to say. I want to circle back to the first thing we're talking about. We're talking about what to expect when dieting down.
Yeah.
And I really want to say this. Something is as hard as your mind lets it be, right? So if you enter something telling yourself it's going to be hard before it's even begun, you're doomed. You're doomed. So the example I just used off camera. When you were younger, I remember, so the reason why I use this as an example, I remember my parents took me to Walton Towers a few times. Fucking loved it when I was about like 9, 10, 11 years old, whatever it was. We got to wake up at 6 a.m. to go to Walton Towers. Right? I was like, yeah, no worries. 5:30 I was up, buzzing, can't wait to go. The very next day I've got to go back to school. For school I've got to be up at 6, right? The same thing happened, wake up at 6, but one was incredibly easy and one was incredibly hard. I didn't want to go to school because my mind was like, So basically what I'm saying is it's not even the task, it's how your mind perceives the task. So if you tell yourself something's going to be hard, i.e. entering the diet phase, it's going to be. If you tell yourself you're going to get weak, you probably will. So instead, flip your mindset and turn it into a positive. Say, I'm going to go into this diet phase, I'm going to get fucking stronger, I'm going to get shredded, and I'm going to love it. You know?
Absolutely, mate. The thing is, I think a lot of people at this point, potentially especially a lifestyle client who's never really entered a proper dieting phase before, where they've got a substantial amount of, like they're going into single digits and they've never done that before. They're going to feel things. They're going to feel fatigue they've not felt before. They're going to feel hunger they've not felt before. But when they start seeing the change will drive them and pull them forwards. And the reason why they've said it's going to be so hard is because they've never really seen, they've never really reached the pot of gold on the other side of the rainbow.
Brilliant point.
Like once you've reached the pot of gold, like I train so fucking hard because I know what happens on the other side.
Yeah.
Like I have no problem dieting hard because I know what happens.
Yeah.
Like I've done it before. Like I know what got.
Yeah, the reward. Yeah, that's such a good point, and that's really well made. That when you get the reward, it's easy. It becomes easier, shall I say? When you've dieted and all you get is the negatives, you're a bit grumpy because you're a bit hungry because you're used to just eating. Whenever you get hungry, you eat. You're not lean. You're not particularly strong. It's like, what's good about this? But as you say, when you get the proper result, that's when it starts to become super satisfying.
We're not saying you're not going to meet resistance. You are going to meet resistance, but it's learning to lean into the resistance.
Correct.
And then enjoy what happens next. Usually, the resistance is a fucking good indicator that you are moving in a direction that is going to improve your life.
Hey, I tell you what, man, that's so true. I've actually created a positive connotation to dieting. So now that hunger feeling, I now relate to winning because I've won like a lot of shows now, like fantastic, right?
Yeah.
And I relate that to the hunger, so it's all like positive. There's no negatives now for me. It's brilliant.
I'm gonna like kind of just pull away for a second, but for a while ago, I had a good friend who was a psychologist, and she said to me, anxiety and excitement are the same, right? Because it's adrenaline, it's an adrenal response. It's how you deal with the adrenal response. You could either be anxious about a problem, or you can be proactive about a problem and get excited about it. The same chemicals are running through your body, but one of them is turning it into a negative and the other one is turning it into a positive. And as soon as you can start tapping into that, a lot of your problems become exciting problems.
I like that. When you first said it, I wasn't really sure. Then you explained it and I started thinking about examples of
what happens when a problem happens in your life? You get anxious, right? What do you do with that anxiety? You're anxious anyway. You're all over the place anyway. So you can either now use that anxious energy, that adrenal response, to either go inwards and do fucking nothing, or you can start teaching yourself to be proactive and start doing things that are moving in a direction of getting out of the hole.
And it might not be easy. It might feel uncomfortable, but what are you going to do? You've got two options. You've got a crossroad. One is going to lead to a solution. One's going to lead to compounded problems.
I used to go inwards on myself when I had a lot of problems in my life, and I would like go down and in and into this like this isolated, paralyzed like place where I couldn't do very much. as soon as I'm not saying I'm there yet, but as soon as I kind of started to learn this skill, I became very animated. I started doing a lot more. I'd get like to-do lists done. I'd be so much more proactive. And then like the busyness also distracts you as well, but you're actually doing something productive. Like amazing, powerful.
Yeah, I love that. I tell you what, some of the best things are when I really care about something, for example, before a show. Before a show, I'll have a little bit of nervous energy, which you could say is a form of like anxiety. It feels amazing. I absolutely love that feeling.
I think when you stop getting that feeling, that it's time to move on.
You lose the passion. That's because you give a shit about the result.
Absolutely.
And it is a positive, even though it's not a nice feeling. It kind of is.
Yeah.
And when I think back to it, I'm like, oh, gets me fired up. Even thinking about it now, I get fired up. Think about it, you know. So yeah. But yeah, so I just wanted to say that, mate, before we move on to the final part. So something that I've come across, and I'm sure you have as well, is basically to do with like the support network that you feel and how that can impact your results and how much resistance you face in your everyday life. Now, one of the things that I hear quite a lot is that they say that their missus or their partner basically doesn't understand or doesn't get it. My response was, they don't need to. They don't need to be doing what you're doing. They just need to support you. Like if my missus was, doing a horse riding competition, I couldn't give a shit about horse riding, but I support her because she's my partner and I want her to do well no matter what that is. So if they don't get bodybuilding, they don't need to get bodybuilding. They just need to be a partner. Anyway, I kind of want to hear what you got to say about it, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is absolutely massive. I know a lot of my lifestyle clients can be hijacked. They can sabotage their own progress if they're around the wrong circle of people. Now, I'm not saying that. So the example I would give, right, and I'm actually going to use my own personal life. So Amy, my partner, all her family, Irish Catholic. So they all drink. They all like to eat nice food. None of them really go to the gym. I don't think any of them go to the gym. And that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. I don't have any issue with that whatsoever. But whenever I would be doing things in the past, especially when we first got together, they would never really understand. And I would always feel like a little bit of well, why are you doing that? You can do that. That's okay. Oh, you can eat this. You can drink that.
Yeah.
Why don't you have a drink, James?
One more night.
Just relax. You're always on edge. You're always thinking about work. It's always what you're doing tomorrow. And I'm quite happy where I am, but you don't understand because this isn't your lifestyle. Now, I don't have an issue with that because I know you don't understand. But it's just managing that. Now, I know so many of my clients are in this position where they'll be about to embark on this journey where they really need to change their life. They might have a health scare. It might just be that they've just come back from a holiday and they've literally just felt horrendous, so embarrassed. They've spent all this money on this nice holiday and they're just thinking, fuck, I'm actually anxious about going on holiday next year and taking my clothes off, whatever. Or even just the anxiety of going to the gym, whatever it is. Their family might not be supportive of you in the beginning. It's okay to have a drink, whatever. But in the beginning, they'll ask you, why are you doing it? And at the end,
they'll ask you how. I love that. I cannot stress you how much this is a thing. You and I have probably both experienced it. You just gave your own example. My mum, so I've been competing a long time now, 10 years, and my mum still doesn't get it. When I go back and see my parents, she's like, oh, you're doing all that weird stuff again, all that weird stuff. 10 years in, I've got a great relationship with my parents, so it's not a problem. I love them to death.
Yeah.
But they still don't get it. But who gives a shit?
My parents don't get it, man.
And when a good example actually is when I first started coaching.
My parents worry about me doing it because they've seen my past and they don't differentiate between my past and where I am now.
So they still think it's like a...
It's a worry. It's a worry.
So
obviously I'm very different now, but it's
you mean drug related?
Everything.
Okay.
It's all blurred into one.
Yeah.
They just know that I went down this path and it didn't work out. It went badly.
Yeah.
And they don't understand that process. But go on.
Yeah. And when I first started doing this job, friends were like, you sure it's gonna work? Not really sure. My dad was like, you do realise that you probably just need £2,000 just to break even. This was 2016. I said, yeah, I understand that. He goes, so you're going to need to do that. Do you honestly believe that you're going to basically...
We said this on the first episode. Are you going to get a real job? When are you going to get a real job?
And now, you know, he's like, it's really satisfying. Not that I'm trying to one up my dad or anything, because it's not like that. But it's, he's like, do you know what? He goes, I'll take that. He goes, I'll take the loss on that one. He goes, I get it now. I didn't really see the bigger picture. He goes, but fair play to you. He goes, I'll tip my hat to you.
That's a big deal for a father to say that to his son.
It means the world.
That's a fucking big one, mate.
And because of all the years of fucking up, they saw me with basically no money. They saw me with, you know, basically self-destructing.
Yeah.
So then when I had this idea to do this thing, they were like, here we go again.
Yeah.
And it worked. And it worked. But it took, you know, it took me not faltering to the people that didn't get it, to go back to the original thing. No one got it. My friends didn't get it. My parents didn't get it. But it didn't really matter. I feel like I knew. They don't need to get it. I cannot stress this enough. Why is there this inherent need for everyone to get what you're doing? They don't have to. They just need to be your friend or your... If someone doesn't support you, they're not worth having in your life. They're just not. So, you know, if it's your partner and I say she, if they are, you know, not willing to support you, then, look, I'm not here to give relationship advice, but is that really someone you want in your life? Everyone's got different situations, but as long as if you're pursuing your passion and you're not letting it impact everyone else, why wouldn't the person that you love support you? It makes no sense.
Communication's everything as well. You need to communicate to them, look, I'm about to embark on this journey. It's going to entail this, this, and this. There are going to be points where, you know, I'm not going to be able to drink. I'm not going to be able to eat food here, but I'm going to compromise and we're going to do this, this, and this. Now I'm here, I'm present, I'm still me, but I'm just doing this. I just need your support. That little conversation is game changing. And I think as some people don't go in with that conversation, and equally you're setting yourself up to fail because you will get that resistance. And sometimes you need to communicate that to them as well.
That's a good point, but I've never really understood this one, because actually I think we talked about this in the first episode as well. Why do people need you to do the thing that they're doing? So on a night out, if someone's doing a shot, they need you to do it as well.
Yes, because they're on self-destruct mode and they need to feel better about the decision they're making.
I think a lot of times, you know, partners will say, oh, I want you to have a takeaway with me or something. I don't even think that it's it's not the partner's fault. I think a lot of the time the client doesn't actually want to follow the plan, and I don't know. But
I'd say sometimes it's potentially that the partner may feel a little bit intimidated by the fact that that partner is now breaking out of a cycle that they've been trapped in for a long time, and it's almost placing a question mark on the future.
maybe it makes them think about themselves. Yeah, like, so they're now on a different path to me. Are we going to make it?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
But mate, these are conversations that, like, I know people are watching this, and I know you've either been there, you're there right now, or you've just come out of it. But it's how can you manage this situation so that it's positive for everyone? Now, I'm not saying that everyone has to support you. They don't. But it's a hell of a lot easier if they understand. And if they understand, they're going to be way more supportive of it.
Yeah. So it kind of. So I'm more of the mind. No, it's good because you say they need to understand, whereas I say they don't need to understand. They just need to understand that it's something that you're passionate about.
Correct.
Like.
But if my partner had an interest, she could do whatever she wants.
Exactly.
And if that made her happy, and that allowed her to decompress, then I am absolutely, like, you've got one life.
Yes.
Like, celebrate the wins.
Okay, I don't understand why people would like fucking ballet. And that's the first fucking thing I thought of. So my missus does ballet. I don't get it, but I don't need to get it. I just need to get that she likes it.
Correct.
And there's a big, big difference. Do you think that sometimes that people are enablers? So if most people are insecure about their body, most people, the average person, they don't really like how they look.
Why do you think that is?
Poor habits.
Poor habits. And do you think they're exposed to high standards, high extremes, like Hollywood, Photoshop, bodybuilders, social media?
So they feel negative because they're looking at that.
Yeah, and it feels so far away from where they're at.
Sure, I think so, but I think that most people would like to be in a bit better shape. Not all, but most.
Most people, if they lost a little bit of body fat and gained a bit of muscle, it would dramatically change their life. They would feel much better in every facet, in business, in work, at home, whatever.
Exactly. So I just burped there, right in the microphone. But monster.
Smell it.
But what I'm saying is about them being enablers is that if you've got a partner, both of you are a little bit overweight and out of shape, and then your partner starts to get better.
See this
and now it's a reflection of how you're not doing that. and you want your partner back because you're both enabling each other to be a little bit lazy.
Yeah.
You know, your partner then doing something to better themselves brings on your own insecurity.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and I think this is a problem as well.
I see this all the time, and this is a big problem for a lot of people.
Yeah.
This can sometimes be like the onset of like them kind of looking at each other and thinking, like, are we still on the same track? Or are we moving away from each other?
I've seen it happen.
It's the biggest test of like, well, if you truly love one another, it doesn't matter what interests you have, you'll make it work.
Definitely, yeah. You should be in love with the person, not necessarily, I don't know. But then again, you know, physical and like the way that you conduct your life, i.e. what food you eat and how you train and stuff like that, ends up affecting your personality.
For sure, of course it does.
It all becomes as one. So I think the thing for me is, as long as you're not making your whole personality based around what you're doing.
Absolutely.
I don't think people have a good balance. A lot of people start dieting casually, not for a competition, and then they make it like their whole personality.
Oh man.
And that must be so frustrating for the partner. And I get it, I understand. So it's up to you as well to still understand that your partner's not into what you're doing.
This is exacerbated a lot more when you get lads who have never really trained before, and they get into the whole steroid game too early, too fast. Yeah. Because they're also experiencing the massive change in lifestyle. They've stopped drinking, they've stopped doing drugs, they've done all the rest of it. They've adopted a replacement for the kind of the dopamine that they had before, which is initially a well done, good for you. And then steroids are in the mix too early, throws all the hormones off, they're all arrogant and fucking short-tempered, and now they're dieting and everyone thinks they're an arsehole and they think the world's against them, and it's like, you've literally entered, like you've changed this, you've gone from this positive change in your life to now it's actually like you're just on a warpath destroying everything around you. And I see so many lads do that, and like you have to, I don't know, but I recognize that in other people now, and I feel I have to reach out to them and be like, you need to stop, this is what's gonna happen, I've been there.
Tip the scales too far the other way.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's all good being into something, but don't make it
your personality.
Yeah, everything. Because I can totally empathise with that situation. If you're a partner and all of a sudden your partner goes to the gym, you take steroids and they become a completely different person, basically.
We get the all or nothing mindset as well. We get that, you know, if you want to do well, you have to put a lot of effort in, but don't let it consume you, because I'm fully aware that like whenever I walk away from bodybuilding or I leave this room, I can go home, I can take my hat off, I can take my clothes off, whatever, and I can just be James. I'm not James, that guy who bodybuilds. That's my life. And I know for a fact, and this is why, I've never actually really said this to you, but I feel like with you, mate, that even though I've always ever known you as Ryan Mackins, bodybuilder, whatever, I know you're one of those few guys at the top level that has a fucking personality outside of bodybuilding. You're a normal guy. You actually are a normal guy. Like, well, you're not.
Well,
but like, but
behind those doors.
But I don't worry about you, because I know when this chapter's done, you'll be fine. I know that in you. Whereas a lot of these other lads and girls,
that's a great.
Their entire personality is married to this thing. So if if you get sick, and I went through that. I had the whole like, you know, the health fucking implications. I had all that. If you're one bad injury away or one bad health implication away from like losing all of it, and then what's underneath? There's this shield, this suit of armor you've been wearing is gone. Who are you now? Don't let it consume you. Don't let it control your life. Let this just be something that is added to your life.
I love that, and thank you for the nice words. And I think it's because
I've never said that to you before.
Oh, I appreciate it. I
genuinely see that.
I'm glad. I like to think that as much as I'm like a fairly decent bodybuilder-ish, I've still got a personality. I'm still Ryan. Yeah, I'm not just a bodybuilder.
I know in your mind you're thinking about the next 5, 10, 15 years. I know you're thinking about that next.
Because I know that things are coming to a close fairly soon. Like they just are. You know, it's just reality.
At the elite high level of performance.
Oh yeah, I mean I could do it for another 15 years if I wanted to, but I want to be high level. And that's it. I think, but it's because I had a life before this, and so did you.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually a really good thing.
So important.
Because it's made us both, I believe, a bit more well-rounded. Mm-hmm. Experiences. It creates who you are as a person. But yeah, that's it. So do your thing, but don't make it your whole personality, and don't impact everyone else. Just because you're dieting, you don't have to be a grumpy bastard to your partner. Don't make it their problem because you've got a problem.
And also,
own it.
Yeah, own it. And if you are a grumpy bastard through this process, you're telling them to hate this process. You're making it hard for yourself because they're just going to associate you doing this as you've changed.
Yeah.
And like, don't make it hard for yourself.
The association to every time that person says they're going to die, you're like, oh,
Here we go again. He's going to ruin my life for the next 6 months now.
So I can sum it up. Don't be a cunt.
Don't be a cunt.
That's philosophical.
That's certified advice from both of us. Do not be a.
Do your thing, but try and be mindful of people. But
yeah,
I think that's it.